Hello and welcome to the Motherhood Blog. Today, I have another guest this time around. I will be talking about something really important, something that is very dear to mothers, their husbands, their families, their loved ones, and that's none other than having children. I do want to say every married woman wants to have a child, but a good number of married women want to have a child or two. And so there is this thing about having to wait. You're married and you're expected, or maybe you want to start having children immediately, but somehow it's just not happening. And you're waiting, you're wondering what's wrong. Is something wrong with me? Is something wrong with my husband? All of that emotion. Come on, it's really never an easy time for anyone who goes through it. And so today I'll be talking to someone who had to wait, and she'll be telling us her waiting story. And this is just to encourage any other person who is still waiting, just for you to know that someday soon, you're also going to smile, and so that you know how someone who had been there before dealt with having to wait for long. So one more time, welcome to the Motherhood Vlog. I am Perpetua Fasanmi-Peter. Thanks for joining me on the show today. If this is your very first time, wow, you are welcome. And please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always returning to my channel. I do appreciate you and I love you so much. Thank you. Okay, so I told you before now that I'll be having a guest today. She's amazing. She's beautiful. She is just that person you want to listen to. She's a good storyteller. So, you're going to just sit back and enjoy her talk about the times when she was probably crying or wondering if God had forgotten her. But it's all good now. She's going to be talking about it now, laughing and, smiling and all of that because she had waited. But now she's good. Okay, good afternoon. Hello, how are you doing? Taiwo Fawemi.
I'm fine, thank you. It's Odeyemi, not Fawemi.
Now it's Odeyemi. That's her maiden name. Good to have you on board.
Yes, it's Odeyemi.
Okay, very quickly, we just want to go
thank you.
Seriously. Okay, so tell me, when you got married, what was your vision? What was your dream? What was your imagination even before you got married? What were you thinking? Like, okay, I'll get married, I'll give her in the next 7 months or 9 months or 12 months. What was your dream?
To be honest, when it comes to what's it called, having children, I knew that I may experience little delay, but even at that, when I got married, I was one of the category of people that wanted to enjoy for a while. No, I'm not ready. But I was so in my mind, or we wanted to wait for about 2 years. That was what we said. But I think maybe 2-3 months down the line, we were ready. And we said, no, what are we waiting for? Let's have children. What are we waiting for? So we really, really wanted to have it. So from the 3rd month of marriage, we started actively trying to have kids.
Right, that's interesting. You said something that you wanted to wait. You said you initially wanted to wait for 2 years, but by the 3rd month you were ready. What was that thing that made you ready?
So I have a friend. She does, and she's my goddaughter. So sometimes we get to talk to her. She will go and meet her mother, and she will say, "I want to talk to Auntie Taiwo, I want my girl." And that day we talked to the little girl, and we wanted to have our own. I can't really explain that feeling, but that was it for me. But after having that conversation with that girl, and then I wanted to have mine.
That's so sweet. Wow. I love that. Interesting. So let's talk about the waiting journey. Tell us about it.
So waiting is not easy. I don't know. Maybe if we had waited because we said we wanted to wait, it would have been easy. For from the moment we said that we're ready and it wasn't happening, it was really, really, really difficult. It was calls from here, calls from there. What's up? What are you people waiting for? I would
You mean people
parents and any
ask you what you're waiting for?
Time I sleep over and they have the morning devotion the next day. A whole lot of people call. When people even see you in church, like, you're still doing CC Abi. People say all sorts of things. They don't know your story. They don't know if you really wanted to wait or not. But people will just say whatever comes to their mind. Some people, they ask all these questions because they care anyway. But some people just say what they want to say. And sometimes the person that is waiting will take it really, really personal, even though they didn't mean it that way. Whenever I visit my parents, then the next day during devotion, that's the prayer point. Everywhere, that was the prayer point. Even before it was up to a year, I felt pressured. I felt pressured. And like I said earlier, I knew that I may have to wait because right from time, my cycle has never been regular. So sometimes maybe 4 times in a whole year, once in every other month, every 3 months, So I've always had that fear that, oh, I may have to wait. But reality dawned on me. It was really, really difficult. Now I can say that I didn't wait for so long. But at that time, it was 2 years was like 10 years. It was as if, oh, this is the only thing I need in my life right now. God, if you give me this thing, I won't ask you for any other thing. It was a long period. I would go home every day, and I didn't have a regular cycle, so it's not, oh, when you miss your period then you will now check if you are pregnant. I didn't have that luxury, so I was testing almost on a daily basis. I would get
Oh,
home from work, I would go and do my pregnancy test. It would be negative, and then I would go to bed sad. The circle that and infertility is terrible in the sense that it takes up your entire life. Like, you are not doing any other thing again. You even stop you from being productive at work or any other thing. It consumes you. That's what infertility does. I'll check, and then when I see that it's one line, I'll be sad. The next day I'm checking again. So it was a circle that continued. So once you're so if you're dealing with infertility, you do the whole process for a while, you get tired, you stop. Then later the ginger will come up again. So I got married in 2016. In December 2017, I started sporting, and then I went to the hospital. Oh, they confirmed that I was pregnant, and then and it was the same day they told me that I was pregnant that what was the word? That was going to actually, that my body is already expelling it. Yeah. I found out I was pregnant, and then the same day I found out that my body was already expelling it. They put me on some medication and all that. So that was like my first miscarriage. Through it all, my husband was encouraging me. He was a support during that period for me. But one thing he said is, at least we've been able to answer this question of, can you get pregnant? Even though that was not what I wanted at that
mm.
time. That was not in any way going to console me, but me that at least I can actually get pregnant. I
But
can
it
say
gave
I've
you
been
some
pregnant
hope
before.
that
Not like I was
okay.
a baby, but knowing that, oh, yes, if I could get pregnant before, that means I can get pregnant again. So that was it for that period. But dealing with miscarriage is something else entirely too. They had given me the EDD already, because that first scan that they printed already had EDD. So I kept it in my head. It was, pregnant again, and I was waiting. Okay. Like I said, I read a story of a lady that they were expecting on the husband's birthday. And at that time, my husband's birthday was also approaching. So I really, really wanted to have that experience as well. So I prayed about it. My faith was up and all that. And then on the day of the morning, I went to do my test, and it was negative again. So throughout that day, I was really, really sad. And I really wanted to have children, not because in that sense. Like I said, my husband loves children a lot. He loves children a lot. And I was like, God, that this man loves children. I want to be able to give him children. That was what I really wanted, because he loves children a lot. So I wanted to be able to be the one to give that gift.
And that would have been a
you
very,
know
very beautiful gift.
okay, PCOS, we're dealing with PCOS as well and all that. Yes, it was It was infertility. Don't know if it will ever happen. You don't know if you ever hold your child. That's what is scary. And that's what keeps a lot of people. So if somebody had told me, any other person dealing with infertility, that don't worry, you're going to have your child 3 years from now, 5 years from now, I think everybody's just going to relax and enjoy their lives.
And
But
just wait.
because it's an uncertainty, you're not sure, you don't know if it will ever happen.
Happen.
You know. So that fear of what holds people down always, So exploring options, I'll do this fertility treatment, that one. And then once my cycle wasn't regular, my ovulation was also not regular. So from time to time, I'll track what's that thing? I did a series of tests. There was a test that I told them that I was never going to repeat again. I think they wanted to check if they were okay and all that. Series of tests. You do this test. Oh, there's a little concern here, there's a little concern there. You take drugs. It was exhausting for me. It was really, really draining. And then maybe I should just fast forward to when I found out that I was pregnant.
Sorry,
So of
before you
events
get
before
to
that time,
before you get
I
there,
like I said,
hello.
I'm a person of faith. Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, before you get there, I wanted to ask what your experience was with your doctors, but if it's like you've already said it, but could you tell us what exactly was your experience like with your doctors and the specialist you were seeing?
Okay. Okay. So in the course of waiting, I had to change doctors, hospitals, because I felt I wasn't getting the treatment that I wanted. The first hospital, the first thing, you should be able to have confidence in your doctor. I wanted a doctor that didn't see me as a case file. I wanted a doctor that would see me as an individual. That the next time I walk into your office, you remember my name. I didn't want doctors that they are just specialists and then they rotate from hospital to hospital. And no, I didn't want that. That was my first experience in the first place. I did a particular test, hormone. My result was far above range. And my doctor was not even worried. He just said, okay, we repeat this test during your next cycle. And I'm like, you don't even know where my next cycle is going to be. For me, that my cycle is not regular. And it just, the way he dismissed the whole thing, I said,
Maybe
no, that I'm not
he
going to
thought that you were
continue with
worried already and he
this
didn't want to
doctor.
compound the worry.
No, this thing was like it was repeated, because what I used to do then was taking time off work, saying, oh, I need to go to the hospital, I need to go to the hospital. So I always put my gynae appointment then on Saturdays. So that's what I was doing on my Saturdays. I'll get there earlier. The guy, when he comes, he's telling the nurses that he's not spending more than an hour, he's not spending more than 30 minutes. I just felt I could not connect with that doctor. And I didn't feel like I was going to get any value in that sense from him. And then I changed to another hospital. The gynae there is an elderly man. He has a whole lot of experience. Nearly we got there, we're really comfortable. We're really comfortable that, oh, years of experience and all of that. So I had that peace with him. And I told him the test that I had done before. And I told him the test I wasn't going to repeat because of the pain. That this test, no, I'm not going to repeat this test. I can do any other test you want me to do. If you need me to bring the result of this particular one, I can go back there. I think it's HSG. Yeah, HSG. I can go back there and bring the results, but I'm not going to repeat this test. And then we started we'll track follicles. We're doing a whole lot of things, but the thing with it is, after a while, you just get tired, you stop. And then one day you think of it again, the ginger will come, you will go back to the hospital. No, why am I not pregnant? And I will ask, when we review my result, I will ask my doctor, so why am I not pregnant? And he didn't have that answer for me. If there's infertility that, oh, you know that this is the cause and then you're trying to deal with it. But the worst of it all is unexplained infertility. Yes, I've mentioned PCOS, but at least I wanted to know what exactly are my tubes bad? What exactly is there something we can control? But I didn't get that answer, and it was really, really draining. really difficult for me. It was really, really difficult for me. I like to more like be in control of what is happening to me. I want to know, okay, if I do this, if this is the issue, if I do this, then I should be able to fix it. But
Awesome.
I wasn't getting that. It wasn't something that I could just fix. It wasn't something that I could just fix. And it was draining. Time was going, there was pressure from everywhere, People say a lot of mean things to people that are waiting.
You
I
mean
had a neighbor say that
to you?
we're not nice to our children. That's why we don't have ours. And we don't talk to these people.
Say that again.
We just enter our apartment and we go out. And I said I had a neighbor say that we're not nice to our children. That's why we didn't have children.
Oh wow.
So I've
Oh
had
wow.
someone say that I didn't change my son name, that I didn't change from my maiden name to my husband's name, that's why I didn't have children. People say a lot of
Well, how do people say this? Is that person
mean
related to you in
things.
any way?
People say a whole lot of mean things.
Crazy.
No, the person that said I didn't change my name was
Hmm.
a colleague at work.
Oh
Was a
wow.
colleague at work. Some people will call you and start telling you that be eating this fruit if you want to get pregnant. People do a lot of things. Once they find out that you're dealing with infertility, people say a whole lot of things.
Wow, that's quite interesting.
People say
Anyway,
a
just
whole lot of
before
things.
before we wrap it up, I'd like you to share the story. I want you to paint it vividly how you realized you were pregnant. I want that part well painted.
So a series of events led to that. Like, I attended programs in church. In my church, I attended a program in July that year. And immediately they mentioned the program. It was not in Lagos. I went to take my leave. I said, God, I'm waiting for this program. And what I want, my only request is a child. I went for the program. When one of my pastors was like, you came all the way for this program. How did you get time off work and all that? Then September that year, about 3 people just sent me messages. Please join Redeem, Redeem Church. Join our Holy Ghost conference. That September is our month of fruitfulness. Getting the message from people. I know they said it because they cared. I got back from work late that day. I joined, but I slept off. But my husband stayed till the end. So when they say put your hand on your stomach, he just put his hand on my stomach and he was praying for me. So like I can say a series of events, people will call, somebody just called me out of the blues, a lecturer from school, and was like, how far? I said, we're fine. And it was like, how far now? I said, we're still waiting. And it was like, oh, there's a program we do in my church every Monday. We pray for people that are waiting. I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to call you in 1 month to find out. I'm going to call you back in 1 month and you're going to share good news. That was what he said to me. I was like, okay, thank you, sir. Another person, it was just like that season, everybody was just on my case and all that. So I started having this lower abdominal pain for a while. And that was October. I had not been home since July. So I was like, okay, let me start this fertility thing again. Especially considering that a lot of people have been on my case recently. That, okay, let me start it again. So my plan was to go to the hospital, talk to my doctor, and find a way to induce menstruation. Once I induce menstruation, I know that I can induce ovulation. There's a medication you can take for that, Clomid. So I had my Clomid and I was ready. All I needed was for my cycle to come. So I was like, okay, my stomach is paining me. Let me complain at the hospital. Then let me also use the opportunity to see the gynae and let's discuss how we can induce menstruation. So I went to the hospital that day. It was a Thursday. When I got there, okay, prior that I planned I was going to go on Thursday. Wednesday evening, I was on my way from work. There's this program I joined, Real Talk Women Nigeria prayer session every 1 hour every Wednesday. So I was listening to it. I just plugged my earpiece on my way from work, and then the pastor said that there's someone here. You have stomach pain, and you think it is God doing His work. I just said that you are pregnant. I just said amen and all that. Then Thursday, I went to the hospital, and then the doctor that was attending to me said, okay, before I refer you to the gynae, I want you to do a scan and to run a pregnancy test. I said, no, 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 I'm not doing pregnancy test. I'm not pregnant. And she was like, no. I said, no, I'm not doing pregnancy test. My cycle is not just regular. I'm not doing pregnancy test. She canceled it and told me to go for the scan. When I got there for the scan, the person that was supposed to do the scan said, I will come back tomorrow. Drink, go and drink plenty water, come back tomorrow. I was like, I just took time off work for today. Okay, I'll come in the early in the morning before I go for to work. So Friday morning, I drank plenty water before leaving the house so that once I get there, I'll just do my scan and then I'll see the guy in and go to work. I got there, the person was not available. They said that the physician said that he's part of the team that they're having a surgery, blah, blah, blah. I waited for a while. They now said, okay, do you want to go and do your scan elsewhere and just bring the results? I said, okay. Then they referred me to Halfway Global. I got there, the guy did the normal pelvic scan, and then he didn't tell me anything. He said when last this year, said July, we just talked, and he said, okay, go and ease yourself, empty your bowl and come back. I want to do another scan. And then I was lying down there, and he did a transvaginal scan. And he said, but you're 6 weeks pregnant. My life changed that minute. As he's 6 weeks
Wow.
pregnant, it was amazing. It was
Oh,
amazing, and
the Lord
the
spoke in the
pregnancy was
ah,
stress free. It was great. It was. I just thank God. As in, nothing compares to the joy of having your child. Nothing compares to the joy. I'm really, really, really grateful to God for that. I'm really
wow,
grateful.
that's beautiful. For how long did you wait?
2 years.
2 years. And for you, those 2 years were like 10 years because
Two
every
years. Now I say 2 years, and it looks like
duh.
it was it was a stressful, it was a long wait, even though it looks it's 2 years, but
Especially
it
with the fact
was,
that you
and this
have
is me 2 years after I have two children.
beautiful. That can only be God.
Yeah, it's God.
It's
It's
amazing.
just God. It's just God. And I told God I wasn't going to ask him. I said I wasn't going to ask for another child. I was not going to sit down and pray and say, give me another child. And when my first child was 9 months old, I found out I was pregnant again. And
Oh,
now, in the space of 2 years, I have two children. Two.
beautiful, beautiful. That's double, double.
It's God, and I'm grateful. I'm really
You
grateful
know,
to
you said
God.
something about
Yes, so
doing some
double, double.
prayers and all of that. I remember I also have a relative who had to go through same. She waited for 7 years, and in all of those years, it was just having to. It was really stressful for her because at a point she noticed that some doctors, some consultants were just seeing her as a money machine. They started extorting her.
Ripping her off.
Yeah, they started ripping
Yeah.
her off and then altering. At a point, she told us the story that she went for a particular scan, and then the way the doctor reviewed the scan, as if the whole world was wrong with her. She said the radiologist had to run after her to tell her, Madam, please, just discard what the doctor told you. He told me to alter those results. You are fine.
Adding to the woman's problem.
Adding to the problem, making
Wow.
somebody feel something is wrong while nothing is
Yes.
wrong. And we were thankful. Everything is
Because
going.
she's already worried, she's already saying, you're adding to that. Yes, I'm thankful. I'm
Thank you
really
so much
thankful.
for your story. And I would like to know if there is anything you'd like to say to anyone who is still waiting for her bundle of joy.
Like I said, I share this to give, even if it's just one person, hope that there's hope for you. I understand that waiting can be terrible. It can be consuming, but there's this thing about life. At the end of the day, is either you have children or you don't. But you can change your own narrative. You can choose to have faith. You can choose to trust God fully. On the other side, you may not actually have the children at the end of the day. But if, because you don't have children, will you now let your 60 years, 70 years of existence, will you let it be a waste? Will you now live in pain and depression all through because you don't have children? There are other, what's it called, avenues. I can say these children today, but there are other options. You can try fertility treatment. You can try stop being married. A fertility group, Baby Heaven Foundation, and what we do is advise people. We don't advise people who know that I was going to wait for a while to, we educate people, we go out, sensitize them, and all of those things. But the truth is that at the end of the day, some people end up not having children. But now they have two options. Either they live their life miserable because they don't have children, or choose to live their life to the best and give another child a mother. You can choose to give another child. Motherhood may not just be by you birthing that child yourself. If medical science has said that you cannot and you have explored options for your peace, for your sanity, you can try adoption, you can try surrogacy if your eggs are viable. Motherhood is a beautiful journey, and if it is unexplained or it's something that, oh, you can have faith, you can pray about it. But what I want to say is, while saying that you should pray about it, I'm just also saying that medical science offers a whole lot of options. Apart from medical science, so you can choose to adopt. You can give another child out there a mother. You can choose to do that. So waiting is not easy. Keep faith, have faith. If it is beyond you, so there is always, oh, can I control this? If you cannot control it, if it's something that you can't control, just leave it to God. Live your life happy. If somebody had told me that I was going to have my children, I was going to start having children 2 years after, maybe I would have just enjoyed the first 2 years of my marriage. I would have lived a miserable, worried, depressed person. Maybe I would have just had fun and be happy, knowing that children will come later. But God is the one that gives children. If you try IVF and it works for you, it is God that is giving you that child. It's not because medical science has advanced, it is only God that gives children. So don't live your life miserable because you're yet to have children. Be happy, be content, trust God, believe in God. And while you are waiting, I know someone that adopted a child because she felt her case was beyond medical what's it called, remedy. And she said she didn't want to stress herself. I attended a forum where she spoke and she adopted it. She came to talk about adoption at that program. And then 1 year later, I was going through her Instagram page and then I just saw pop up. She had her own child while
Oh,
nursing another person's child. So you can't say, oh, because I don't have a child, I'll be miserable. No, there's joy in having children, I know. But you don't have to be miserable because you don't have at the moment. You will eventually have, either biologically or by adoption or anyhow you choose to. And don't let anyone tell you that your method of starting a family is not valid. Don't let anybody tell you that, oh, you did IVF, you're not a complete woman, somebody's carrying your child for you, surrogacy, you adopted the child. No, they're all valid means of starting a family. Don't let anybody put you down or make you feel like you are not less of a woman. Yeah, someone said that her husband's family said that there are too men in this house. She's not a woman. They're telling the husband that you married a man like you, that's why you don't have children. And she was in her 40s and she was crying. So while people that are waiting, please have faith, explore options, be happy while you are waiting. And if you
something.
know anybody that is waiting,
You just
please let them know.
You just pointed out a very important aspect that I hoped we could talk about, and that is where you have people who are not supportive, where you have in-laws, family members who are not supportive, who rather than support you are always reminding you, taunting you, and even doing all sorts just to make you feel bad or feel less of a woman or less of yourself for not having children. I guess you didn't experience that, did you?
A little, I did, and
Okay.
it's I don't know how to describe it. Someone looked at me and asked me, "How long have you been married?" And I said about 2 years. And the person said, "So how many children did you have?" I said none. The person asked that question to spite me clearly. I said none, and then said, um, let me say it in Yoruba now. Lanso Fomoluabi. Those were his exact words. And I don't know how I took that word, but I just thank God today that it's all in the past. But
Exactly.
is that's why I'm saying that if you know anybody that is waiting, say anything that could hurt them. Don't say all of these things, because it is God that gives children, and God is going to give them children to that. What do you say to that person after full words that you have spoken? Through that foundation, I met a lady. She gave birth to a baby a year after her ninth wedding anniversary. She said when she celebrated her 7th year anniversary, she posted a picture on Facebook. And not up to 30 minutes, her sister-in-law was in her house to say, what are you happy about? What are you celebrating? You don't have children. You don't have this. So now that she has a child, how will the sister-in-law walk into her house? How will she feel? You are telling her that she does not have children. Now, has God not done it? The God
Yeah.
that can give children, has He not given her the children now? So don't say things. It's not like you can create anybody. So why are you telling somebody? Why are you telling people hateful words? Why are you calling a woman a man? Because and you don't even know who told you that the problem is with the woman.
That's another one.
Infertility, the fault can also be from the man. The fault can also be from the man. But people will just come and jump at the wife. You don't even know if it's your brother that has a problem and they are
Or
managing
you.
it. You come and abuse the
Mhm.
wife when it's clear that it's your brother. And for families that now know that it is the man, they will not start pampering the wife so that she will stay, so that she will not go. So, like I said, infertility is not something that I wish on anybody at all. But it is what it is. If you have to deal with it for a while and all of that, keep hope alive, continue to pray, trust God. It is not any doctor that gives children. It is God and only God. It is God and only God. Just lean solely on Him. Talk to your doctors, whatever option they are advising you to go with. Explore it. Pray that it works out. And don't let anybody shame you. Don't let anybody shame you. Can they give you the children? So if they are telling you that you are a man or you are this, you are that, can they give you the children? They can't. Why are we focused on the why are we not focused on God?
Thank you for your time. Thank you for all that you've shared with us today. We do appreciate. Many thanks for joining me today on the Motherhood Vlog. I hope you had a great time listening to our guest for today. She has shared a lot with us about her experience having to wait for 2 years and what those 2 years meant to her. They were like 10 years to her because she had to deal with so many things. But the good news is she has her children now. And if you are the one who knows someone who is still waiting, please do not be the one who is going to add to their worries by saying hateful and hurtful words to them. I hope you change from now on. If you've been doing that before, I hope you change. Please stop it. It's not good. Thank you for watching. Do have a wonderful time with family, friends, and loved ones. I am Perpetua Fasanmi-Peter. Bye for now.